I feel like that could be way more useful, the fact that R2 can just pilot the ship and the gun.
What if R2's piloting the whole time and just making Luke think like he is?
Yeah, right.
R2's just the big brother giving the unplugged controller to Luke.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, now turn it to the left. Now turn it to the right.
It cuts to Luke's steering wheel when it's basically one of those preschool colorful, like, it has a bunch of colorful buttons on it.
A little squeaky horn.
Yeah. Hello there. You found the Lost Holocron, an ancient artifact of lore and legends from a galaxy far, far away. Each transmission of the Lost Holocron, you will join an episodic discussion of media from the Star Wars universe. We will be your guides. I'm Tim, and I'm joined by Kyle.
Behold!
Scott.
Salutations.
And Stuart.
Hold on, let me look up my old-timey greetings.
Aw.
Hails!
Yeah, there we go.
Ahoy.
Ahoy. Today we'll be covering the material up to and including Chapter 21 of Dark Force Rising. Stuart, what has happened so far?
Mara Jade's life as the Emperor's hand was destroyed when Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader defeated the Emperor. She is still haunted by dreams of a violent assassination. Despite her mortal grudge against Skywalker, Mara was forced to help him escape Imperial capture on Myrkr. Grand Admiral Thrawn tricked Mara into leading his flagship Chimera straight to Karrde's hiding place. While aboard, Mara used hardwired access codes to get information that would aid her in freeing Karrde before going to seek the one person she thinks can help her, Luke Skywalker. Luke has come to Jormark to submit to the teachings of the presumed Jedi Master Jeruis Sabaoth, hoping to gain knowledge that will help rebuild the Jedi Order. He both feels his own studies are incomplete and is intimidated by the task of passing this knowledge on to a new generation of Jedi. Already his efforts to teach Leia highlight the difficulties to come in teaching her yet unborn twins. They both seem the target of multiple Imperial abductions and have been forced onto the defensive. Master Sabaoth is not the exemplary Jedi that he would have hoped to find, and Luke finds it hard to accept Sabaoth's philosophy. Under almost constant fatigue and after another disappointing instruction, Luke is sent by Sabaoth to his chambers, so that the older Jedi may surreptitiously repel an inbound Mara Jade. Scott, what happened in Chapter 21?
Belaboring? I've never heard that word before.
Belaboring.
Oh, okay.
I think it's belaboring.
Belaboring.
The Bellabor.
With the repulsor lift damage, Mara stabilizes the skip ray in a controlled glide. Activating the sublight drive at the last minute, she puts her craft down in the crags of the mountain, though not as close to the summit as she would have liked. She shoulders her Isalamiri and begins to ascend the mountainside. She doesn't make it 2 meters before R2-D2 intercepts her in Luke's X-Wing. Sliding back down to the skip ray, she tells R2 that she has come to warn Luke of Sabaoth's allegiance to the Empire, and the droid agrees to take her the rest of the way up. In the clearing at the edge of the mountaintop castle, the mad Jedi Master is waiting. Sabaoth wants to keep Luke to himself, but Mara feels confident to take him under the protective bubble of her Isalamir and with Sabaoth at blaster point. Sabaoth boasts of his prophetic power, gloating that one day Mara will submit herself to him willingly. Alerted by a disturbance in the Force, Luke arrives. Luke doesn't seem to need convincing to help Mara in her quest to release Karrde. Sabaoth dismisses Mara's intentions, belaboring the grand importance of his mentorship. Seeing Luke's tiredness, she moves closer, and as the bubble of the Isilamiri's influence covers Luke, he awakens from the influence of the Jedi Masters. The Mad Jedi lashes out to subdue his would-be mentees. In the ensuing clash, Luke's X-Wing is forgotten, and R2-D2 uses the laser cannons to knock the Jedi Master unconscious. While Mara wants to execute the treacherous old Jedi, Luke stays her hand. He instead delivers the old man back to his castle, believing that he could one day be healed of his madness. Luke sends R2 back to Coruscant with his X-Wing, and journeys with Mara to infiltrate the Chimera and free Talon Karrde.
Post-production magic.
Woohoo!
It literally is like magic, except it's the most labor-intensive ritual to complete it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could just say some words and have it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what
next year.
macros are for, Tim.
Yeah.
You never know. It could be next year with all this AI stuff. It's like ChatGPT, but you can do it for like video editing.
What about me? I do that.
Yeah, but look, you're still going to need to find specialists that can interface with these things to get exactly what you want. And so I saw this funny meme of like, oh, well, we're just going to have code, these AI write all our code for us. And I said, but what if you want something very specific? Oh, yeah, well, you just give it some specific instructions. And how are you going to learn that? Well, I guess you would have to learn how to talk to the robot. And like that just becomes a coder in the end.
You have to write a program for the AI to write programs, but then just a
You have to get the
snowball
specific
effect.
thing you want. Yeah, exactly. So
Right,
there's
it's
still
all
going to be
that.
people who are more skilled at doing stuff than other people. You just
Yeah.
got to integrate that into your workflow.
Or like all resource management games, sometimes you just have more people than you actually need, and those people get to just sit in their houses and not do anything.
But still collect a paycheck, right?
Yeah, I mean, supposedly, if we are making machines that can do the job for us, if not everyone needs jobs, it means not everybody should need money to pay for basic survival utilities. And that ultimately, that is what we should be thriving for as a human species,
I
is
agree.
to
Yeah.
be able to support
work.
ourselves to a point where we don't have to do the work.
Right.
I think fun skill things should always be around, but you know, things like the arts and stuff like that. But I currently work in insurance, and when people are like, "Hey, how's it going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm here," and it's just like, "Oh, I mean, like rough day." It's like, I mean, I'm not here because I love insurance.
What do you mean? Insurance is amazing. I love insurance.
Insurance is my life.
I came this close to selling life insurance with a friend of mine, and I realized it was not at all what I wanted to do.
Scott, I can assure you that it is a great career path. But yeah, my political platform, should I ever run, will be on the decommodification of
Labor.
labor. Well, no, just things that should be human rights. Like you should never have to like exchange your time in order to not go hungry and starve. You should never have to exchange your time in order to have protection and shelter and education.
Yeah, you should only have to exchange your time for more lightsabers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Human rights should be free for all. That is what a government should do. They should be enforcing the
The
protection.
problem is the
those
basic
things.
human needs should be seen as human rights, which I feel like, unfortunately, they're just not.
I mean, they are, but nobody wants to take it as far as what that actually means to
Yeah. Well, they're, I feel like,
enshrine.
yeah. I feel like a lot of societies don't see them as basic human rights, even though they should.
Yeah.
Was it the CEO of Nestle who said that water's not a human right?
Yeah, exactly. My point exactly. Yeah.
Regular reminder of Nestle. They suck. Terrible company.
Yeah, there was a show on Netflix called Rotten, and it went behind the scenes on a lot of the food industries, and there was a really good episode on Nestle, and just like how damaging they
that
are.
would be spicy.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And there's like a really good episode on like avocados, how the avocado growers down in like Mexico are being basically extorted for all their growers. Pretty much like the drug cartels are starting to take them over because they know how lucrative avocados are.
Damn.
All them Californites and their avocado toast.
Yep. Yeah, there was actually a really good episode on the honey industry too, and they were featuring some farmers that actually don't live too far from where I'm at.
I'm also pretty sure Fiji water is destroying the water of Fiji.
Yeah, but is it actually bottled in Fiji?
Something ridiculous. That makes them legally allowed to say so.
Oh god. My brother's nephew's cousin was from Fiji, so I can call it Fiji water.
I hate this timeline. Let's go to Star Wars.
Yeah. What's this podcast about again?
30%.
Our
guys,
basic
30%.
human right to talk about Star Wars.
Yeah, it just has to be 30%. That's it.
Yeah.
So I hope I didn't ruin anything for anybody last time when I was like, Thrawn is the one. No, not Thrawn. Sabayoth is the one who is. He's also using this mind suppression stuff on Luke, because like that was the big reveal this time, and I thought it was pretty obvious from that chapter. But apologies if
I had already read ahead anyway. So
of course you did.
But this is what I mean when I said last time that Timothy Zahn makes you the detective, and this is good storytelling, that you should tell the twist before it comes.
Yeah.
And me and my wife have been watching Survivor, which, if anybody doesn't know what Survivor is, it's a game show where they take people to tropical islands and get them to compete in challenges, and then people eventually, they vote each other off by saying, you're the weak link in this tribe, and eventually there's
the weakest link. Goodbye.
sole survivor in the end. And just the recent seasons that we've been watching, because we've been binging it, because you can do that these days online, is that the editing is just so poor, because they want to make it like twisty and turny, and so you can't tell what's going to happen next. And so it's like that jump scare that I talked about last time. But like, it means that you can't be the detective. And so we found ourselves like, not nodding off, but like our attention wanders during these shows, because there's no point paying attention to what is the strategy that these guys are talking about. And, can we guess who's going to go home tonight? No, because the editor is hiding all this stuff to make it, brain candy rather than an actual meal for you to sit down and engage with the show itself. It just became so superficial.
They have to put out 2 seasons of Survivor a year. They got to pump those babies out.
They're honestly probably manufacturing most of those narratives through the editing, so there's nothing to set up, because
that's the other
all
thing.
they have is manipulated payoff.
There was a I think it's a Reddit where people are like have gamified the Survivor episodes, where like they calculate who's getting the most screen time, who's getting the most like one-on-one interviews, and then based on that they make a prediction on who is going to win the season, and usually they're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've always wondered what the analysis is. So anybody out there who can do this in the listenership, to see who gets the most talk time between us, because I feel like it's somewhere between me and Tim.
Probably.
100%.
Yeah.
And I would like to reduce my talk. Well, yeah, I want to elevate you guys in this stuff, because it's about you guys too. It's not just me.
All right, well, shut the fuck up, Stuart. Let's go.
It's all right. I'm over here in the background. I'll start my own podcast with blackjack and hookers.
You know what, Tim and I had a
a
lovely conversation about films recently, and I was like, you know what, I think I would love to start a podcast with Tim about movies.
Yeah.
But now I'm here stuck doing a podcast about Star Wars with you nerds.
Oh, damn.
We're all sneakily plotting our own podcast.
Oh, are we going to be the boy band that breaks up and we all go start our own careers?
No.
And then obviously one of us is going to be wildly more successful than the others.
Hey, speaking of that, I saw so my local casino has like just random people playing, and Joey Fatone was one of the people who was going to be playing. Is that his name? Joey Fatone? Fat one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, and he actually I think he had somebody opening for him. If that's tells you about,
Okay.
how poor that person's career is.
Wow.
I think Joey Fatone is very talented, and I think
He's probably underrated.
Does a lot of interesting things.
Yeah, he's probably underrated. I don't know. I never really listened to was it NSYNC? I don't even know what band he was from. Anyway,
I love it when R2 lays down the law.
From my understanding, Mara Jade cannot understand R2, but was just making wild assumptions that were close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, she must know some binary, but enough to make those predictions.
I mean, obviously a story needs to happen. Like, something was obviously going to come save her. But the idea of Mara Jade's story ending because she just got stuck in a pit and died was fucking
Or because R2 shot her with an X-Wing.
Yeah. I mean, if this was the last book, if she was as crazy as she was last time, it would be the perfect ending for her.
Taken down by our own hubris. I can get myself out of here. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Get that ladder out of here.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that get brought up like 2 books later where they're walking past their pit and there's a skeleton in the bottom of it.
Why does a skeleton have red hair?
It's just a perfectly preserved skeleton and with a red wig on it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a dead Salmiri stuck to her.
Well, no, the lizard's alive because it ate her. That's why the bones are surviving.
Oh yeah, it sucked. Yeah, it sucked all the nutrients out of her. Right. Yeah. That's why she was skeletonized in like a book and a half.
But this chapter was short and sweet. I'm very surprised that it just immediately went into. We just went right back to Mara for this chapter. I figured we were gonna jump to something ridiculous, but we didn't.
Right.
Mara the crash lands here. R2 shows up not too long after, flying the ship, which I'm sure he has before. I guess I forgot that droids can just fly the ship.
Mm-hmm. Does it like a fucking G? R2 was in charge this whole chapter.
I feel like that could be way
Tim
more
might
useful.
like
The fact that R2 can just pilot the ship and the guns.
Yes.
Well, I
feel like that needs to be used way more often.
What if R2's piloting the whole time and just making Luke think like he is?
Yeah, right.
R2's just the big brother giving the unplugged controller to Luke.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, now turn it to the left. Now turn it to the right.
It cuts to Luke's steering wheel when it's basically one of those preschool colorful. Like, it has a bunch of colorful buttons on it.
A little squeaky horn.
Yeah.
That's why when he blacked out and all those ships got destroyed, it wasn't him. It was just R2.
Yeah, it was R2.
R2 was the one who destroyed the Death Star.
Right.
Luke, your targeting computer is off. It's okay. I'm using the Force.
The Force, aka R2.
R2's fuck your Force. This is me.
Yeah.
I got this, baby.
He's like, I turned the targeting computer off. He just turned the screen off. It was still on. It was just R2.
No, I like how it even says there was that one line where R2 brings the ship up to Mara and he's got the blaster aimed right at her face.
Yeah.
But the other thing I noticed was it's funny how Sabaoth is like so anti-droid and he doesn't think anything of droids. Droids are just, machines. They don't do anything. And yet R2 blasts him and, knocks him out. And just...
He hasn't met R2.
Yeah, he hasn't met R2.
Yeah.
R2 and his mech suit.
Yes.
Hulkbuster R2.
R2's power suit.
Yeah.
I hate going off topic again, but this episode did make me think of something. When Mara Jade is talking to Sabaoth and she's like, you can hear the madness in his voice. I don't think I've ever heard somebody, and by the tone of their voice, I know that they're crazy or like something like that. But have you ever met somebody who you think is like normal, but then after you talk to them for a little bit, you're like, oh, you're crazy? Because I've met several people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, when I worked retail, I'd probably meet at least somebody like that every day.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, same. I mean, when I was a barista, I'm sure I met tons of crazy people, but I was already prepared to meet crazy people. So I didn't get the normal facade, or I didn't notice it.
Well, then where I was working, my clientele were primarily like elderly people from the retirement community. So yeah, I'd have, quite a few to choose from.
Sure. Okay.
I once had a customer eat a green coffee bean right in front of me.
You know what? I mean, I eat coffee
I think
beans.
I've done that actually. I think I've tried it.
Unroasted.
Unroasted? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever had like coffee, not beans, what are they called? Coffee berries?
The berries?
Before?
Oh, no.
I have not, and I
don't think I
want
have.
to. Yeah, it is called coffee.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. There's a botanical garden here in Okinawa that there's actually coffee grown here too. And you, I don't think you're supposed to, but me and my friend, he's quite a botanical expert. Walking through the garden, he's like, "Oh, you know what this plant is?" No, I don't know. It's coffee, and he takes off some of the beans and gives it to me. And I was like, "We can eat this?" He's like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
I'm sure
Whether we were allowed to or not,
so cool.
Just don't get caught. Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised the berries aren't a bigger commodity.
Yeah, for real. They're very tasty.
If only we had some sort of coffee expert. Some sort of fifth person for this podcast.
Somebody who had their own
talk
coffee
about
company at one time.
What are you talking about? We got the barista right here.
I mean, you guys have been hitting the nail on the head so far. Stuart's right. Yes, they are tasty. Actually, I don't know because I haven't had them. Which
I was going to say, I thought you said you didn't try them.
Yeah, right. I'm betting they're tasty.
They look tasty from what I've seen, the photos.
They do.
I feel like not too much to say about this chapter. Nothing learned. I think Luke was super ready to help, and I don't think it's because he knew that he felt like he owed Talon Karrde. I think it's just the kind of person Luke is. He's like, oh, okay, someone needs my help.
Yeah, it's the Boy Scout in him. Yeah.
This place is kind of bolted anyway.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the whole thing at the moment.
Like Geritol.
At the moment, though, right? Because Sabaoth is like, no, we've got to rule from afar and be aloof and make all these like grand sweeping decisions and whatnot. And maybe he feels like this planet's taken care of almost. And it's like, well, they got Sabaoth. They don't really need me here. I'm gonna go do the side quest before the main quest. Kind of level up a few levels before continuing with the main quest. But little does he know this is the actual main quest.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the main quest? Maybe his main quest.
Well, I don't know. Well, he's going
I
to
think
go
Thrawn's a
directly.
bigger main quest than Sabaoth.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to where Thrawn is. He just
okay. No,
doesn't
okay,
realize. Does he realize?
I mean, he knows he's going to the Chimera.
He has dealt with Thrawn at this point.
Has he?
Dealt with, or just?
Oh no, I guess he wouldn't know. He only had that brief interaction where his ship was in the tractor beam.
Yeah.
And I actually know he didn't even interact with him. No, never mind.
Yeah.
No. Was Luke even there with the deposition for Han, saying there's a Grand Admiral?
I don't think so.
Actually, I don't even know if he knows.
I don't think
Maybe
he knows.
He doesn't know
I
what a
don't
big
think
deal
he
this
knows.
is.
Yeah, I think he just knows that the Empire is around and causing trouble. He doesn't know who's behind it.
I guess Luke has other priorities for himself at the moment, which
and that's why he was trying to go to
understandable.
Sabaoth.
Yeah. And then he needs a little vacation, so I'm tired here. This training is wearing out. I'm going to go do something else for a bit. Somebody to save? Cool.
Yeah.
See you next week, Sabaoth.
What do you guys think Sabaoth's reaction when waking up is going to be?
I think he's going to just dust himself off and pretend nothing happened.
I think he's gonna be pissed. He's like, that fool. He should have killed me.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no,
And he's
I
pathetic for not doing so.
Right.
I think
he's probably going
he's-
to go after them.
You think so?
I could see him like stalking them at this point
Yeah,
Crazy stalker.
because they're
Yeah,
his Jedi.
They are.
I feel
that's
he's
true.
Luke was a little short-sighted just leaving him there.
Yeah.
At least know where your enemy's gonna be when he comes back for you.
Yeah. Should like
Yeah.
tie them up or something.
But I mean, Sabayoth seems pretty certain that they're going to come back to him, or at least Mara is. So
It's true.
maybe he thinks that, you know, when they do come back, if he doesn't get any groveling, he's going to be putting lightning through people's legs until they do bow.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
What have we called it before? Force tickle fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tickle fingers.
When we were talking about like, what if your feelings are going through force lightning? You're basically kind of touching someone.
I like how we've had like a consistency with Sabayoth flinging rocks. The first time that we had him in the first book, he flicked a pebble or a stone or something to deflect a blaster bolt because Rook was going to execute some guy, and he he intercepted that.
He has
And-
clearly put all of his skill points into rock throwing.
Yeah, it seems like he is the ultimate rock skipper. we were laughing that every morning he wakes up and does like tracks up and down the mountain and a bunch of like sit-ups and push-ups and stuff, but probably he's just there. The first thing he does when he wakes up is goes to the edge of that giant lake and just skips rocks.
Yeah, he's like an earthbender.
That's his training.
With little pebbles. No, but I remember that line where I'm trying to remember exactly what he says, but because Mara has the Estelle Miri and she's got her blaster pointed to him, and he says something like, "Oh, I don't need the force," or I can destroy you, something. I forgot how he says it exactly, but I just imagine him like, hurling pebbles at her. That's his ace up his sleeve, is just throwing pebbles at her.
Oh, right. I remember that moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said like, I could destroy you where you stand, but you're going to come
Something
back
like
to me
that,
one day. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
I think of his, I could destroy you where you stand, just like, pebbles and rocks and things.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to put a pebble through a skull.
Part of me hopes that Sabayoth has a pet rock somewhere.
Does it pee on the rug? And he goes, no.
Yeah.
You're the only one that truly understands me. These animals.
You and your googly eyes that are glued onto you with children's craft glue.
Sabayoth is the Ice King, and his pet rock is Winter. That's what's going to happen when he wakes up from being knocked out. Is he wakes up and they're all gone, but you understand me.
Yeah.
I love the idea of him walking around and using the force to have a little floating pet rock move alongside of it.
That would be awesome.
Hovering next to him. Oh, I think we need to make a Lost Holocron pet rock now.
New merch idea.
New merch idea, yep.
Yeah.
USB rechargeable.
Yep. Peas on the floor.
Sharpie, some abs on it.
We call it Sabai Rock.
Yeah.
His rock hard abs.
That's what his ab training is just flinging rocks at his stomach to repel them. Because you've seen that like MMA training that they do sit-ups and the guy's got the medicine ball that they're bouncing off the stomach. He's doing that with rocks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can imagine Sabayoth just like taking like a power stance, arms at his side, and then he just uses the force to like keep hitting himself in the stomach with rocks.
This is the true reason why he's upset with Luke, because he won't undertake the training, or like he's not flinging the pebbles hard enough at the old man.
Yeah. He has nobody to show off to anymore.
Oh. Except his pet rock.
Except his pet rock.
Yeah.
Sebai rock.
Sebai rock.
No. Why? Maybe they stated it and I forgot it. Is he sending R2 to Coruscant for backup, or
No, I think it's just
safety?
Yeah, I think it's just
a place
Part of
to
X-Wing.
rendezvous. As Mara said, it would be very suspicious to be walking in with an X-wing.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I don't know. I feel like he could be of use of some kind. I feel like he's going to Coruscant to be convenient for another chapter of the story.
Right.
Well, I think like it's all about rendezvous, right? Because they're not going to leave R2 with on Jormark with Crazy here, but
Yeah.
Right. Well, actually,
Sounds like
maybe.
R2
I
can
don't know.
hold his own. Sounds like R2 can hold his own pretty well.
Yeah, probably.
Even without the X-wing, he can hold his own.
You see Sabayoth start stirring, and then he shoots again near him. That's what I'm talking about.
R2's just thinking to himself, "God damn it, I missed."
He's just doing that the whole time they're on the ship.
He doesn't need to sleep, so every 12 minutes he shoots him with it.
But Kyle, you called it that the Millennium Falcon is perfect for a getaway on Thrawn's. I thought it was going to be, Leia that would use it, honestly, but it seems like the X-wing isn't there. Mara's skip ray is being destroyed from the
Pebbles.
the repulsor lifts and being melted from the sublight drive, and
right, and Thrawn's on his way to Endor. That's right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I don't think. I think the Millennium Falcon's the only way they're getting off that ship.
No, perfectly placed Millennium Falcon.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. What if they left the decoy in orbit? Did I already say that?
We did make a joke that they go back to the ship and it's the fake one.
Yeah, that decoy is going to chase the Falcon for the rest of this podcast. We're going to have to mention it every time.
But they're going to capture it thinking it's the real Millennium Falcon.
Then they'll have 2 Millennium Falcons.
Maybe.
Oh my god. Han gets one, Chewie gets the other.
Yeah, the Millennium Falcon.
Lando gets cheated out of another one.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Vader losing his right hand
Oh,
after the Death Star's destruction?
I
was confused by that.
I wonder if that's the story that the Emperor told Mara, and he didn't actually lose his right hand that way. It's just like, or maybe he lost his right hand again.
I mean,
Like, there's plenty of ways that this could still be true.
It's true. Yeah.
If
but
Luke's
it
mechanical
could
hand
be
was
that
cut off.
everything. Yeah.
Maybe he lost his hand in like a toilet accident or something.
Maybe he lost. Maybe everything but his right hand was injured before now. That was like the only human part left of him, and Palpatine took it. I like it though. I think it holds a lot of weight
Yeah.
because I think it shows how Vader's relationship with Palpatine is, and kind of like sets up in betraying Palpatine more. It also gives more weight to the moment where Luke sees he's chopped off his hand on the second Death Star. Because now Luke can reflect back on that, and that moment sticks out to him even more.
Yeah. But like that was just another test from Palpatine to Vader, that he's just chopping his limbs off left, right, and center to get what he wants.
Yeah, and it also honestly probably makes that moment even worse for Luke, because he realizes that his actions indirectly led to Vader originally losing that hand. And then it also gives a reason for Vader to cut off Luke's hand in Empire Strikes Back. He's taking out a bit of his anger.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to this that I really like. A lot of things we can surmise.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah. Vader tries to recruit Luke, and then later he's like, "Oh yeah, I totally took your right hand on purpose."
I'm sorry about that, boy. It's just something that we do around here.
Let me teach you about revenge, son.
Yeah. to be a part of our club, you cannot have a biological right hand.
Yeah.
All right, I'm looking up their script for Return of the Jedi, because he also says the more reflection back to Return of the Jedi was that I will teach you such power you can't imagine. And he said that was a little bit different from what Vader told him, but he said something quite similar, or the I don't even know how you would say that. The tone was similar, or the nuance was similar, or something like that. Oh no, there's 31 instances of powerful being used in this script.
Start clicking.
Clicking. Powerful Sarlacc. Do not underestimate the powers of the Emperor, or suffer your father's fate. Ben. Oh, okay. There's some extra stuff in this script.
Ooh. Makes sense.
Yeah.
There was a sandstorm scene that was cut.
Oh, interesting. Wait, which script? For movie or for the book?
For the movie. They even filmed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you think they filmed this one? Well, it seems like an extended scene where Ben tells Luke that Leia's his sister, and then it says, when your father left, I didn't know your mother was pregnant. Your mother and I knew he would find you eventually, but we wanted to keep you both secret and safe. And your mother took Leia to live as the daughter of Senator Organa on Alderaan. They were high-born and politically quite powerful. Leia became a princess. No one knew she'd been adopted, of course, but the title is without real power, since Alderaan had long been a democracy. Even with the family continued to be politically powerful, and Leia, following her foster father's path, became a senator as well. But that's interesting, because, I feel like that gives more weight to why Alderaan was chosen. Well, Alderaan was destroyed so quickly, because, she has a politically powerful family that is just in name only.
Wait, which one is this in?
This one's a Return of the Jedi, but yeah, because I thought it was when the Emperor has been expecting you. I know, Father. So you have accepted the truth. I've accepted that you were once Anakin Skywalker, my father. That name no longer has any meaning to me. And then Vader, about power, says, your skills are complete. Indeed, you are powerful, as the Emperor has foreseen. But you do not know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master. It is too late for me, son. The Emperor will show you the true nature of the Force. He is your master now.
Interesting.
I don't see how that exactly relates to... I could be wrong as well, but how exactly that is what Sabayoth told him about what he was going to teach Leia. The other thing that I wasn't quite sure about in this chapter was that Luke thinking that he can win Sabayoth back from the dark side or from whatever madness. I don't really see that for Luke, because
I wasn't feeling it.
So far, he's 2 for 1. It's not. So he's thinking it's possible.
But he won Vader back because it was his father, and that was familial love that won him back. But he's got nothing on Sabayoth. Sabayoth is just some random old guy who's senile.
Yeah. I think another aspect to Return of the Jedi that I feel like doesn't get enough attention is that Luke sensed the goodness and was trusting his instincts. So it's a sign of maturity for him.
That's true, yeah.
Especially since he fucked up so badly in the last movie.
I think he wouldn't be saying it if he didn't believe it.
I think he thinks that his madness is where the dark side is coming from. So if he can cure the madness, then the dark side will leave,
Right.
rather than.
Mhm.
So he assumes there's something under his conditions.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe we're giving it a bit too much weight, and it was just a stray thought he had. Like, he was probably thinking the whole time, like, we should not spend any more time with this guy. In fact, we might need to neutralize him. Then he was like, oh, but maybe.
And
Yeah.
then, also maybe he's just like, it's an old man. Like, clearly he was ready to go. But I don't know if he felt very threatened by Savior.
That's fair, yeah.
Maybe he's just like, well, this is just a sad old crazy man, but like he still has knowledge. He has use to him. Like just because he's throwing a few too many rocks around doesn't mean they kill him or he's knocked out.
Yeah, it's just like that episode of the Airbender I was watching where he's at the earthbending nation and he's fighting the king, like the old crazy king who turns out to be like completely ripped, just like Sabaoth.
Yeah,
crazy, just like Sabaoth,
King Boomy.
But, Boomy, that's right. Yeah, just ended up turning out to be being his friend from a long time ago.
And Flopsy.
Flopsy, that's right. Yep. They throw rocks around. They're crazy. They're super ripped.
Yeah.
I see a connection.
Sabaoth's an earthbender.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been confirmed in several chapters.
Yeah.
But he's also a lightning bender, so...
Yeah.
Also,
Sabaoth's the Avatar.
Technically, Luke is under the impression that this dude's way older than he actually is.
Yeah. Like 250 years old.
Right, yeah.
So who knows what he thinks? Because I don't think he thinks he's a clone.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, oh, clearly he has done something. Maybe his mind has outaged his body.
Maybe. No. No, I don't think. I don't think he cares though. He just cares about power and ruling and being like mature, whatever he thinks that is.
I don't know. Yeah,
Honestly, like, how do you guys think Sabaoth would react if it was revealed to him that he was a clone?
I don't think he would believe it. Denial.
Yeah.
Immediate denial.
Probably, yeah.
I think he would, yeah.
I think denial or just he wouldn't care.
Yeah, that's my other thing is that he would still think he's better than the animals around him.
Right.
like a clone of a Jedi is still far more superior than the monkeys that he has to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we are going. Actually, no, I'm not too sure. It would be interesting to see that reaction, but I don't think it's necessary. I think that's probably going to be a reveal that does happen at some point. Will be reviewed to Sabaoth. Who knows?
Honestly, I don't think it's important to his character, so I'm not sure that it being revealed to him will be a point of the plot.
That's true.
That's probably true. Yeah, I feel like that's a true point, yeah.
Too bad he can't read his own name written down. Then you'd know
He's illiterate. Literacy is just the trappings of civilization. It is not true maturity.
Right.
My name has an extra vowel in it for some reason.
Why is everybody pronouncing my name funny?
He probably regularly got lost in the Chimera because he couldn't read the signs on the go. But he didn't care the whole time. He was just walking around like royalty.
I was just going to say, I love the idea of him walking around with confidence and purpose, but absolutely no idea where he's going.
He was like, "You slave, what are these scribbles on the wall?"
What is this slave writing?
I watched something stupid recently, and it was like, if anybody can let me know, please do. It was something like Santa Claus is illiterate, like he doesn't know how to speak the English. He doesn't know how to read the English language. And like at one point he's leaving and he clearly like is walking into a door that says closet on it.
Isn't that the Santa Claus 2? Is it the Santa Claus 2 or the Santa Claus 3 when Tim Allen's they make a clone of him that's just a just a giant toy, so he wants to go back and just live a normal human life? Is that it?
I don't think so. I want to say it's Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi? Really?
This is going to bother me.
I don't know. I don't know if that sounds familiar.
1 second.
But this is like the those.
It's not like Bad Santa, is it?
No, it doesn't sound like that movie. But it's like those studies where they where they have people that have those brain lesions that the left and right hemispheres aren't talking to each other, and they have a divider between the two eyes, and they have the left hand pick up. They give instructions to one side of the one ear, and because the brain is crossed when it goes through the spinal cord, that their opposite hand picks up the object, and then they'll ask the person, why did you pick up that object? And they'll say, oh, well, it's because I wanted to. It was here. I thought it was very, very interesting, but like it was because they were given instructions, and because their brain can't talk to each other, the other hemisphere confabulates the reasons behind these things. And I feel like that's what Sabaoth would do, strutting around the castle like, you're not supposed to be here. What do you mean? I was always meant to be here. I wanted to see this vending machine. Yes, interesting.
I needed a snack.
Anyway, I'll be going.
Guys, funny news. It wasn't Santa, it was Jesus. It was Steve Buscemi playing God, and you can't read.
What's the title of the movie?
It's called Miracle Workers.
Okay. I like that reveal.
Pretty bold of them to have Jesus go into the closet.
It is apparently there's 4 seasons on Netflix with Daniel Craig. Good for them.
What?
Oh, it's a series, not a movie?
I guess so.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to watch this movie, but I don't think I'm down for a whole series.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do
Depends
4
how good it
seasons. Yeah. I'm already trying to get through Avatar.
No, you don't have to get through it. You get to get through it, Scott.
Oh, okay. All right. You're right. Yeah, it's a privilege.
That is an absolute privilege to live through.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not surprised that I confuse Santa Claus and God, but whatever.
I mean, how different are they really?
Right?
They're both fairy tales.
Anyway, Star Wars. What are we talking about?
Yeah, I want to check in with you guys. How do you feel about the Isela Mirror? I know we didn't have such a good
I dogged on them for a
rapport
long
with it
time.
from the first book, but
I think they're still ridiculous, but I mean, they're around. I'm used to it at this point.
Same here. Still negative opinion, but I've accepted it.
I like that they're just kind of like in the background now and not like a pivotal part of the plot, I guess.
I do like the concept of them being worn around as accessories. I want someone to walk around with one in like a baby Bjorn, just like until I can't stop me.
Well, I mean, it does facilitate a lot of the power dynamics, so that there isn't this kind of like insta kill from Sabaoth getting his way. So
yeah.
that it has lasted so long, it doesn't feel like a kind of like Deus Ex Machina now that Mara's come to the planet and it's like, well, I've got a force shield and I've got a blaster on you.
Oh yeah, Sabaoth did not like that when she pointed the blaster at him.
No, not at all.
He's like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I will make you.
He's like, oh, if only you weren't in your
Horrible.
lizard bubble. I would show you what's up.
I mean, he didn't really care though, because like as soon as Luke stepped into the bubble, he was like, "I have all the power," and then just started hurling rocks.
Mm.
Which that Luke stepped out so confidently. Do you think that Luke is, well, equally as powerful as Sabayoth?
I think probably, yeah, I think so, but in a different way. Like obviously in a much different way. But I think maybe Luke. I don't know. Do you think Luke realizes it though?
Or do you think he was just like, "This is my duty as a Jedi to kind of savior complex, almost to step into harm's way?" And because I like that line of Mara Jade's saying that she wanted to yell out that he's useless without the Force.
But then he stepped out of the bubble.
Yeah. So do you think this supreme confidence is warranted, or is it just that he knows what he's in for now?
Yeah, it could be more of him just, being the Boy Scout hero or whatever, and just stepping in front of her, trying to be the hero, I guess. But
I also think he's genuinely skilled now, though.
yeah, he is definitely genuinely skilled, but
yeah,
I think he also sees Sabayoth as like an immediate threat, and he's like, oh, a threat. I have to stand, I have to be the protector.
I also wonder if he had been thinking about like how to block Force lightning for a long time, and maybe this was testing his theory. Yeah.
Is this the first instance of that? It
is, yeah.
I think it is. But the way that Timothy Zahn writes it, it seems like it's been a thing that we've always known about.
Super Joe.
Right. Yeah.
What? You say Super
But
Joe?
no, this is the first I can think of, unless there's something in Splinter of the Mind's Eye or something like that.
Oh, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. No, I didn't say Super Joe, Scott, but I love that show. No, I said the Super Joe, the way he says, yeah, he blocked it. Anyway, on to the story.
Super chill. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a casual, it was such a casual line. Like, oh, he just casually blocked it with a lightsaber. Like, anybody could do that. Or, like,
maybe he spent time figuring out how to do that.
I feel like this is...
Maybe he practiced on R2's, like, Zappy arm.
I was going to say, how do you practice against that? Like, if somebody maybe wanted, I don't know, if you wanted to redirect lightning, maybe you practice that somehow.
Yeah.
What's the first time we see... Is it episode 2? Is that the first time we see it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it's not in episode 1.
Yeah. Obi-Wan does it against Dooku.
Dooku, yeah. And it makes me wonder, how do they practice, like, with a Tesla coil?
Maybe Luke just figured it out, because he did build his own lightsaber, so he knows how it works.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure he read a lot of the books and the texts and stuff in
That's
Obi-Wan's
true,
head, right? So he
maybe
probably
it's an old Jedi technique.
read about it from
Ooh.
Because Obi-Wan knew how to do it, so of course, it makes sense for him to write about it, leave the writings for Luke.
I like the way it was described as well. That it seemed more like he wasn't casting this like continuous bolts of lightning, but like single ones, like Zeus throwing lightning bolts at Luke, and he was just like, and it's just like wrapping around the like arcing around the saber, and like
that's cool. How did I not realize
splashing
that?
or something?
But you know what? I just thought of Obi-Wan blocking the Dooku's lightning was long after this. So how did Timothy Zahn know that Obi-Wan would know how to do that, and et cetera, et cetera?
Well, there wasn't a mention of Obi-Wan here. Yeah.
No, I know, but
I mean, we're gonna have to if we read older books than this, we're gonna have to look out for this, because like just doing a Google of when was the first instance of Force lightning being blocked, doesn't yield particularly good results.
That's because Google sucks now.
I'm right. I'm scouring the Wikipedia for Force lightning right now.
Oh, if anything, it's probably going to be in that bottom section where it says behind the scenes.
I love that section.
Yoda
it's my favorite section because
it's a great one.
Relatively spoiler free.
Yeah.
Someone named Galen Merrick was able to block Palpatine's lightning with only his bare hands.
That's 2007.
Force. That's the Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play those games?
Yep.
Yeah.
What'd you think of them?
I like them.
I couldn't finish the second one, but I liked the first.
Yeah, they were fun games.
Yeah.
I actually never had a chance to play them, to be honest. But I followed a lot of the story.
Don't bother with the lightsaber combat. Just keep throwing guys around. That's real fun.
Who didn't hold up enemies and repeatedly throw their lightsaber at them?
See, what I had most fun with was like holding them close to railings, and the stormtroopers will like literally reach out and grab a railing if you like put them close to one, and then they'll like hold on until you rip them off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Huh. Effects.
I remember in the Jedi Academy games, you could cheat and you could amplify your Force mind control, and you could actually like take over the stormtrooper and like play as them, and then you could just like run off a cliff.
I loved doing that. And for some reason, it would always give any characters with blasters like insanely rapid fire when I played as them.
Like, even
and so I would just go in, take out a bunch of enemies with that, and then jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grenade launchers would just be like machine gun fire.
Yeah.
Just like you could just level a room real
You
quick.
could even take down Dark Jedi that way.
Yeah, you could.
Because they couldn't block all of it.
No.
Yeah, it was too fast.
What if you shoot him in the feet first?
It helps.
It helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Jedi only had like basic moves, so they really couldn't do a whole lot against like explosives. If you shot rockets at them, they would. If you shot rockets at them, they would just force push them back towards you. But
they would. But then you force push them right back.
Right. Yeah, you could just like volley them back and forth for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes you would. Oh, that was a fun game.
That was a fun game. I miss that game. I miss doing the cheat where you can spawn random Jedi, and then I'd have like 20 of them, and then like my computer would run super slow, and then and if you accidentally hurt one of them, then they just all attack you.
Oh right, yeah.
Like Cookers in The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, no.
Did you guys ever do that in, I think it was Ocarina of Time? You go into Kakariko Village, and you start hitting the Cookers, and the Cookers have unlimited health, so like you can't stop it. And then all of a sudden it just goes, and then just out of nowhere they just flying at you off the screen, and the only way to escape it is going into the next. Yeah, you gotta either go inside or just quit the area.
I actually never played Zelda.
I never did either.
Those are not my games growing up.
I feel robbed of a big experience.
I played half an hour of Breath of the Wild. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh well, considering your taste in games, I would say it's a good one to start with.
Probably, yeah. First, I need. Actually, never mind. My girlfriend has a Switch.
Is the least Zelda-y Zelda though?
I definitely didn't play too much time playing Breath of the Wild. I definitely didn't beat Ganon with with a few sticks and a pot lid.
That's right, because can't you just like go straight to him?
You can.
You can do
I
it.
love that.
You just go fight him in your undies. It's great.
I love it. Yeah. Like in Elden Ring, you could beat the game by just killing 5 bosses or something like that, 5 or 6. And there's over 100 bosses in that game.
Jeez.
Who's the lady? Is it a lady, a streamer that is Leave It to Me or something, and they've just got like a pot head and a lady?
Let me solo her. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Killed Millennia over 1,000 times.
Dang. With like a stick, or not even a stick.
No,
or
2 katanas.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a ladle for the pot.
No, just the pot helmet.
The honey dipper.
That's.
But he got to the point where he would like never get hit by her.
I mean, you have to be that good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is it that predictable, or is he just that good?
It's that readable.
Both.
They
Both.
telegraph.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it is,
right,
but
right.
like the windows of opportunity for some of Melania's attacks are really, really small.
Mhm.
Like in order to dodge them successfully.
Wow.
Like there's one attack that most people hate because there's like there's a couple pretty complicated sequences you have to do
Mhm.
to escape it. Like the first one, you just run away, and then you keep running, but then you have to like roll into it and then roll at a backwards angle.
Huh.
But then if she does it when you're right on top of her, unless you can like circle around her a bit and confuse her AI, then you're fucked. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Kyle.
Oh no, I just remembered I have to download Knights of the Old Republic too.
Yeah, you do.
Free right now on Prime Gaming.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have to get back into those games.
Yeah. Honestly, just go straight to 2.
All right. Maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One is a fun adventure, but
Yeah.
2 is essential.
2 is
2 is where it's at.
All right.
Be sure you talk to everyone as much as possible.
Why do I keep getting the impression 2 is really short? Why do I get the impression 2 is really short? Is it short, or is that just...
No, it's long.
Oh,
It's
good.
pretty
Okay.
long.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Like, you know,
it's
you
the
have
usual
to
short.
download an
Almost 3
expansion
times
to
longer
actually
than the first
experience
one.
it.
I like it both ways.
Yeah, you can do without the expansion.
Yeah, vanilla's
When
good
I
too.
brought it up, you guys were like, "No, you gotta play it with the mod."
We've grown since then.
Oh,
I mean, you can get the stabilizing mods that that brings back is restored content stabilizes
Restored
everything,
content.
right?
Yeah.
But then don't get the extended one that brings back planets that were only half
yeah, I wasn't talking about those ones.
developed. Yeah.
Even with the restored content mod, though, there are some sequences they brought back in where there's like 0 enemy balancing.
Oh,
Uh,
in a good way or a bad way?
Absolute hell.
Oh,
Bad way. It's absolute hell to get through. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's actually better if you do vanilla first and then go to restored content.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can recommend some mods on Steam because the UI looks kind of clunky in the original. So I'll give you some UI updates, and if you want texture packs as well, there's plenty of them. But the UI is the only thing that I say is probably could use the mod.
Do we have any more thoughts on this chapter?
I thought you were researching Force Lightning this whole
I
time.
have been, but they gave me nothing. Although it first appeared in the novelization of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, Force Lightning itself. Okay.
Yeah.
But not the locking. Okay.
Tim, you've got something here about the way Luke talks about Vader's redemption shows what I don't like about the EU. So I want to set you up for that. Going back to, can Sabaoth actually redeem... No, can Luke actually redeem Sabaoth?
But no, it just seems like people took the redemption angle. Like, I feel like it got accepted as the primary trait of Luke's character or as his primary strength. Well, I think of it more as I mentioned earlier, him trusting his instincts, because I also like Vader getting the agency in that, because that feels more Star Wars to me, like paying attention, being mindful, taking advantage of what's there, and then also you making the choice to come back to the light.
Right.
So, yeah. Luke is not a redeemer. He was just a facilitator, and a damn good Jedi.
Yeah, you can lead a Jedi to the light side, but you can't make him stop drinking the Force lightning.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't make him stop eating the cookies.
Yeah,
Makes me want a Gatorade.
Yeah.
Electric blue.
Nice.
Is there any other?
Yeah, cherry. It's the best. White glaze.
I don't know. Grape. I'm a big fan of grape. Grape's my favorite.
Okay.
I'm a Powerade person.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
You know what? If you really want to get into it, Sports Drink by HEB.
What about
Body
Squincher?
armor.
Squencher? Oh, a Squencher popsicle? Get me in.
Hey, they're pretty good. That's what we get at work for the guys.
That's what they used to
We
give
use
us at
the-
the factory. And then not too long
if you-
after I started eating those, I saw a post online where it's like, you're working. When you see these at work, they're about to work your ass off.
Yep. Yep.
There is a very popular sports drink here in Japan called Pocari Sweat.
Mhm.
Is it named after a
Gross.
guy? Is that a guy that they named it after? His sweat?
It is Pocari Sweat.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea where the name come from, but
Gross.
yeah, any foreigner that comes here is like, this is a weird choice.
Does Picari mean anything in Japanese?
Pocari. Oh, I've never actually looked it up. Let me double check.
Well, we do know that Gatorade is scraped off the sweat of athletes.
Oh yeah. Yep. Does anybody know why it's called Gator Raid? Where does the gator come from?
Because it was made
I
in
think it was
Florida.
because it
Crocodile
was.
Raid was already trademarked.
What
I think
was?
it's because it was commissioned by the
Alligator-
Florida
Crocodile
Gators.
Raid. Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Ah.
Yeah. Sorry if you said that, Kyle, and we just talked over you.
No, I just said I said it was made. It had something to do with Florida, is all. But I
Florida.
believe you are more right.
Yeah.
You are technically correct, but it's the best kind of correct.
The best kind. Yep.
Pocari in my dictionary comes up as with a whack or a thump from their numerous onomatopoeia. And also gaping of a hole or suddenly open.
Gaping
So-
sweat.
Gaping sweat.
Is that supposed to be like describe your
thirsty
sweat
already.
glands?
They're just opening up your pores.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to describe the situation you're in when you need the Pocari sweat. When you are sweating profusely.
Oh, like I've been doing in this 115 degree heat.
Scott, you need some Pocari sweat.
Well, okay,
I do.
now I
I'll
gotta
send
get
you
into it.
some.
What kind of flavors does Bacardi Sweat come in?
What kind of what?
Flavors.
Flavors.
Yeah.
Sports drink flavor.
Okay. Is it just one kind? Or
No, the Japanese call it sports drink flavor, and there's a bunch of things. Like you can buy candies that are sports drink flavor, and it
Okay.
tastes exactly like that.
interesting. Okay.
This does not look how I expected to at all. There's no
I'm assuming
coloring.
it's probably fruit punch.
Mild
would I-
grapefruit flavor with little aftertaste.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Sports drink.
I'll send you packets so you can make it up in your own water bottles.
Yes, please do.
The Lost Holocron drinks Bacardi Sweat. Can we? What's the chances of Lost Holocron getting sponsored by Bacardi Sweat, Stuart?
That could just be. We could just make it the official drink of the Lost Holocron.
You know what? Yeah, we don't need to get sponsored.
Look, I'll talk to my
Yeah,
people. And we'll
why
see how it
not?
goes.
You know, let's plug it each episode now.
The official. Yeah. This episode brought to you by Bacardi Sweat.
No, we're just going to mention how we're drinking it while we're talking.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, guys. I talked a bit too much. I got to take some of my Pocari sweat. My mouth's a bit dry.
Bacardi Sweat break.
we become a video podcast only so we can show off our bottles of Bacardi Sweat.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Meanwhile, all that's actually going to happen is that we're each going to get a bottle of it. We're just going to keep really filling it with water because they won't be able to tell.
I'm just gonna get like a random water bottle and just like scribble the word on the bottle, and there we go.
Pocari sweat.
Just add a bit of lemon juice because it looks cloudy, like if you add lemon juice to water. So just do that, which I
Yeah.
highly recommend. Lemon juice or lime juice
Oh
is,
yeah.
Mhm.
is the king of citrus, but just put lime
Delicious.
juice in some water, and that is
Delicious.
I can't look at
That's what
times
you need.
anymore.
we thank you for your service, Kyle.
No, it wasn't that bad. I was there for like 2 weeks. I barely remember it.
Well, speaking of tart personalities, what did you guys think of Mara in this chapter?
No, she was fine.
How are you feeling about her character now?
I think bold move just to be like, yeah, he's the only one that's gonna help me. I'm just gonna go ask him. And he said yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm liking her a lot more.
I liked her a lot in this chapter.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
She feels like
The way
she's
she was standing up to
earth.
Sabayoth.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I love how the beginning of this chapter, Kyle was like, no, they're really short. There's nothing much to talk about in this one.
We've talked a lot about
We have
Macaulay
2
Sweat and a bunch of
recordings
other
for
random
40 minutes.
we've been filming for almost 10 hour and a half, and I don't know how much of it we actually talked about the chapter.
I think it's been it's at least 30%.
Good.
Any
We've made
final
up of that.
final thoughts that anyone wants to get out about this chapter?
Do you guys think we're going to go right into the next one? Do you think we're going to continue the streak?
Yeah, we got to keep going. We got to keep going with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed if we don't.
It's too much
I
momentum.
sure hope so.
Yeah. My the thing that I do like about this is that there was a line that Luke said, we want to leave the future to the guidance of the Force. And I've always felt like the will of the Force was the Jedi's Serenity Prayer. And I feel like the Serenity Prayer is one of those things from so many cultures that is one of the best things to come out of religion, I guess, in accepting that there are events in this life that you don't have any agency over, and being able to not only focus on, but like reduce your anxiety around those things that you can't control, and just, it's the will of the Force. It's everything else. It's the currents around me. I'm just a jellyfish in a river, and I'm not going to control the whole river, but I can blob up and down as my jellyfish self to make the small waves that I can.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, that's
So I like that coming into this chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, religion can help some people with like the more painful parts of existence, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anything else?
I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's it.
We'll see you next time
On Picari Sweat podcast.
This has been The Lost Holocron. You can find transcripts, links to discussions, and more at our website, lostholocron.com. While you're there, you can learn how you can support the creation of future episodes. Read on, and we will be waiting for you in the next transmission. We would be honored if you would join us.